expected.
Let me guess. 1 year out of the academy, 0 combat experience, little punk thinks a shit don't stink. Well, just to let you know,
The shit does stink.
stinks like shit.
If you'll just give me a shot.
Give this your shot.
Freaking nose! Yeah, if you'll excuse me, it's time to round up a real team.
And welcome to another great edition of JC in the Morning. Maybe I should call it J2C in the Morning, as Justin Curtis is joining here tonight.
J2C.
J2C in the Morning.
Like H2O, man. Like H2O.
2 J's, 1 C. And tonight, and that was the voice of JT Wilbur over there.
It was?
It was. He finally got out. He was going to do a special remote over there in the John, but he decided that maybe for next time we'll get that on air and you guys can experience the life and adventures of JT. And you can listen to the process. It's a very interesting process. One that might cause some nightmares. Maybe.
I think is an understatement. I think has is a better word so far.
Well, are you did you experience this firsthand?
Well, I mean, I think at some point, I think at some point everybody's experienced.
I have seen moments where JT.
Well, I mean, if you follow me on Snapchat, Jumbo Teddy.
Oh yes, there's definitely he's not afraid to do that. When I first started Snapchat, the true story, I thought Snapchat was really a joke. I thought it was something I was going to try to take the most awkward photos I could and put on there. So I only had like 2 or 3 people on my Snapchat before my year absence to it. And so there's no lie, I would literally use Snapchat just to randomly take pictures of my shit and send it to my roommates to piss them off. And let's say 11:30, like in the middle of class, they'll get a Snapchat from me and then they'll open it up and they're just like, and then I come home the next day and they're like, dude, why did you send that to me? It's like, it was pretty big. I was pretty impressed. I wanted to share it. Sharing is caring. So Snapchat I was not a favorite on Snapchat there at the beginning.
No wonder I don't follow you on Snapchat.
Well, I can bring that back seriously. I can even put filters on it now. I can even put filters on it, make it real classy. How about a 4th of July one with like fireworks around it? This didn't take long.
Call disconnected. What a shame. That's a shame.
Well, it did not take long for this to get out of hand. So I'm gonna reel it back in here. I'll reel myself back in here. And our topic.
Yeah.
Our topic.
Yes, motherfucker.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, JT. Oh, JC. I can't say that now because we got Justin Curtis over there. Now it's going to think it's all over to him. J&J, as you to both. Our main topic here for tonight, as your mission, was to pick out your top 5 summer vacation movies. And by summer vacation, I had to clarify just a little bit, and we brought it up. So for summer vacation, what I meant was movies that happened in the summer or captured a summer event, such like summer camp, traveling, or something that happened during the summer, as it was pretty broad. So our goal was to pick up our top 5. We do have some honorable mentions. As they, on the other end, JT had a lot of honorable mentions, ones that really popped in his brain. Me, on the other hand, not many. I really wanted to narrow down to my 5, and there were 2 that I thought could have been there, but I had to move out. A lot of older movies, because older movies, that was kind of the big thing, and I know I'm thinking about there's another one, but I'll write it down as we get ready for this. And JC, if you're ready, you can lead us off with your honorable mentions for your top, or I guess honorable mentions for the top summer vacation movies here.
Okay, yeah. My first one is not necessarily a movie directed towards summer, but because it has summer in the title, I thought it would be a good honorable mention. Mine was I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Spooky.
Kind of a classic, horror-ish film. But honestly, it kind of came to me because it had summer in the title, to be completely honest. And that's our theme for the day.
Yeah, and that movie does it does have that, and a lot of horror movies did happen at summer camp. I mean, a lot of movies. If you're thinking, I mean, I probably don't want to be spoiling it, but like Friday the 13th, all those movies happened at summer camp or just a camp in general. And so, I mean, summer, it's an easy time for villains, or as you would say, monsters, to pick out their prey because everybody's out partying and they're easy pickings. They're out in the middle of nowhere. They got a lot of booze. They're all drunk up and a lot of pots going around. I don't know what JT would know anything about that, but
nothing, not at all. There's a lot of silence coming from that side.
He had to go to the bathroom again. But yeah, so it's definitely a good one to start off with here.
Yeah, and then my next one for honorable mentions was Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I know this has nothing to do with summer camp, but for me, it was a lot of something to lead up to it. Going through school, seeing someone like Jeff Spicoli coming through your school, and then thinking, damn, I could hang out with him and have a pretty fucking great summer.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it was something kind of leading up to it, and overall, it's a fucking hilarious movie. Someone that to get through school with someone like that's fucking funny.
Yeah, it's a great movie. A lot of memorable scenes in that one, especially the part with the guy, the older brother, when he goes in the bathroom and he's got his sister's friend on the swimming board or on the diving board in the swimming pool. Probably one of the most recognizable scenes from that, other than Spicoli himself. And, and there's a lot of big name actors in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
You had Forrest Whitaker. That was one, because Forrest Whitaker did a lot of movies before he became really famous, and he was the big football player in that one. He had the car and everything, and his brother wrecked it. And then you had Spicoli, who was played by Sean Penn, who is like a complete 180 of himself in real life.
Mm-hmm.
As that, he was just like that hang loose surfer, man. Hey, bud, let's party and shit like that. I mean, it was just a great classic movie. The 80s really grabbed that summer essence. They had a ton of movies that were they captured that feeling and made it really good. And that was a really good movie.
Yeah, and kind of playing off that, my next honorable mention was actually from the 80s. 1989 movie, Weekend at Bernie's.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's a good one.
I felt like as great as a summer movie that is, for me it was going to be one of my honorable mentions because I just like my top 5 so much. But overall,
yeah, you worked hard on that top 5 there.
What was that?
Worked hard on that top 5 there.
I
time
did.
and effort into that.
Unlike you, JT, JC actually put some work in and prepped it.
He knew about it 2 hours ago.
That's all he needs.
2 hours ago.
That's all he needs. And when he hears that category, boom, it pops in his head, and he's just got to put it on paper. That's all he needs to know.
Hell yeah. So yeah, but I mean, overall, definitely a good honorable mention, that's for sure. So. All right. Who do we want to?
We're gonna move it on over to JT, since Big Balls over there had the motion that he had so many honorable mentions that he just couldn't name them all, or he had like 7, I think, or something like that. And he's probably adding more as we're talking. Right, like, oh yeah, that movie. Oh yeah, that movie.
Fun fact.
That one.
Fact.
Oh god, here we go. Fun fact.
With my wireless headset, I can talk to you guys while laying on the bed.
So, you know what? You're just defining yourself as being one of the being comfortable.
Yes, a really, really, really comfortable position. And now I gotta go get up and do my honorable mention. Yeah.
Did you write them? Did you write them on a piece of paper and put them across the room? Really?
It's on Google. My Google.
Your Google?
Because I'm professional.
Okay, all right.
Because we are nothing but.
Why don't you?
here.
Yeah, can we put quotations around professional, please?
Well, I think there's this. Did you? While we're waiting for him to get his honorable mentions, did you see the new our Facebook page? Again, we are on Facebook, JC in the Morning. We might change that to J2C in the Morning. We'll see in the next couple of weeks. But we did make a profile picture change today.
We did. I did not see that. I did not approve that. As
I totally approved it.
Board.
I totally approved it because it was a picture that I think captured the essence of the show. And it was actually a picture that JT posted on there a while ago as he was making fun of me for being late. And I felt like that was appropriate for our profile pic because it really grabs the essence of what we're doing here. And kind of the essence of our main hashtag is fuck it. And
I have to see this. I'm going to www.facebook.com.
Yeah, remember, go to Facebook. You can check it out. It has been up there for the last, probably about 6 hours now. I got a little fun. And JC in the morning. We also got a full portrait there dedicated to JT. So you can kind of see what he goes through on a daily basis.
I got a face for radio.
And he's showing he was showing us, what we do during this podcast.
You were late. So you were late.
I was late by 5 minutes, and then I told
10,
you, okay,
20.
I was on my way, and then you're like, oh, I was waiting for Curran, and then, well, not anymore. That doesn't happen.
I'm always waiting for you. I will always wait for you.
Well, that's assurance. That's reassurance to me. But so, yes. Well, so we are on Snapchat. We are also on Instagram. You can find us on Snapchat. JC. Yeah, are you your personal one, Jumbo Teddy?
Yeah,
you can go follow him.
Sure.
He keeps it real lit. But JC in the Morning 1, you can find us there on Snapchat. JC in the Morning on Instagram as well. We will love to have you guys follow us. We're going to keep up with that. And as the days progress and the weeks progress, it's going to be really something you guys don't want to miss out. We're going to do a lot of stuff on there. And Facebook as well. We've been hitting Facebook pretty big. And we do have an announcement here, but I'll go over that after we get through our main topic. Announcement to come.
It keeps the listeners listening.
And it does regard around the NFL as we are waiting. We still have a couple of months before that happens. So we will announce that later in the show. And now, I hope that JT was able to get over to his Google Drive and get his honorable mentions.
I do. My honorable mentions. You guys are going to yell at me for this one.
Probably, regardless.
First one, honorable mention, Harry Potter movies. I know it's about school generally,
but it's like a summer school.
A lot of them take place during the summer.
Okay,
Harry Potter's birthday,
I'll give you that. No, that works.
That when they're searching for Voldemort during the summer, and a lot of stuff happens during the summer, and it takes place during school a lot of times, but also during summer as well. And I'm just a big Potterhead, me, and I love Harry Potter. It's the best. So it's the best. It's the best because there is summer in it. There's summer seasons. It has all seasons in it. So
okay, no, that works. That works with me.
My name's in the show. I can do what I want.
Exactly. Fuck it. Go for it.
Up next we have Meatballs, classic.
Oh, that is a great movie.
Yeah, great one.
One that I actually did have in my top 5, but I bumped it out. I bumped it out.
2 weeks in a row, I got you.
Well, it wasn't. It was definitely not one, but it was up there until I was thinking of some other ones that really just popped in. But so I moved that to honorable mention. But Meatballs is a classic. Bill Murray. Bill Murray is golden in that movie.
Bill Murray's golden in just about every movie.
Yes. Yes.
Up next we got Parent Trap. Like the essence of summer movie. They go to summer camp and realize, oh, hey, we're sisters.
Which Parent Trap are you talking about? The original or the Lindsay Lohan?
Both.
Ooh.
Both. I include both the originals and remakes in this list.
I have not seen the original. I've seen the remake.
Well, but I haven't seen the remake. I mean, you grew up with the remake.
Yes, but I have not seen the original, and it hasn't really crossed on my to-do list.
It's pretty good. You should go look it up. You should go.
It might have to. Good. Might have to.
Up next, we have Cheaper by the Dozen 2.
Ooh.
Okay.
Because it takes place at the summer camp, at the lake cabin there. And that hits home for me because I have a cabin at Wallow Lake. And anything cabin-ish, I love it.
Cabin in the Woods. There you go.
A good movie. Good movie. I don't like scary movies, but that's a good movie.
Yeah,
Up
I'm not.
next has my favorite actor in it. RV with Robin Williams.
Okay.
I loved Robin Williams. I was so sad when he died.
That's
R.I.P.
actually. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's definitely. That's a great movie. I like that movie. I know a lot of people kind of bashed on it because it wasn't as good as they thought it was going to be. But again, I'm a big Robin Williams fan. Always have been. Again,
he's so good. He brought so much happiness.
So many movies that he. One of my favorites is still Patch Adams.
Oh yeah,
one of my favorites. A great movie in. I can't believe I'm forgetting the name with it.
Focus.
I'm focusing. It's it's got Ben Affleck. Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting.
The museum.
No, Good Will Hunting.
No?
I'm not thinking of Night at the Museum. Fuck that
you
movie. I said Ben Affleck, not Ben Stiller.
Close enough. I'm moving on to my list.
Yeah, move on. You can move on.
Without a paddle.
Okay, there we go.
I mean, they go on a summer camping trip. Well, not really camping trip, but they do some camping there. It's a great one. And then my last two honorable mention is What a Girl Wants with Amanda Bynes. Classic. Grew up on the Disney stuff there.
Okay, I hear you. I hear you.
She goes to London.
I used to watch a lot of those Disney movies. I did not watch the Lizzie McGuire one. Had no interest.
I had a big crush on her. Still do.
I had a huge.
Through
the hard times too.
Okay.
Well, Hilary Duff never really had too much hard times. Amanda Bynes, she had some hard times. So
she did.
Thinking about getting back into acting now recently. So
I mean, yes, I did hear that she was coming back.
Hilary Duff has never. Hilary Duff, if you're listening.
Well, she's
follow Jumbo Teddy on Snapchat.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, if we get Hilary Duff, hell, we can get her on the show.
Yeah.
But
okay, and that's it for my honorable mentions.
I'm talking about the Disney stars. I mean, it seemed really weird how we grew up with them when they were kids, and then once they hit puberty or 16, then they just went batshit crazy. And maybe it was.
They seem to be older. Like I don't know their age, but they seem to just hit an age where they just become old.
Yeah, but then I guess they don't have to carry that persona of being the goody. Because I mean, you look at Zac Efron. He went from
doing
high school. Yes, he completely changed from the High School Musical, which made him famous, into.
And I honestly like him changed better. His Dirty Grandpa.
Oh, I love his movies. I even enjoyed Baywatch. I went and watched Baywatch. I enjoyed it.
I've seen that.
It was not bad. It wasn't as bad as the ratings gave it, but it was funny. It had its moments. By far the best character in that movie was the kind of the out of shape guy. He had so many moments, and he just watch the movie for him alone. He stole the show easily. All right. With that being said, my honorable mention list, I went from 2 to 5 right now. This one people are gonna bash on. I thought the first one was good. Second one was okay. It was tolerable. I went with Grown Ups.
Yeah.
That one, right. I like that on my honorable mention. You know what? I grew up with the Adam Sandler, the Chris Rock, the David Spade, and that movie makes me laugh.
It's a feel-good movie.
It's a feel-good movie.
I totally forgot about that. You know what? That's going on my honorable mentions as well.
That was a funny movie. People were like, yeah, it's a lot better than Jack and Jill. And when I watch an Adam Sandler movie, I know exactly what I'm getting. I want a movie that makes me laugh. Like, That's My Boy. I like that movie a lot. I like That's My Boy. That movie makes me laugh. I don't care. I'm not looking for a great story. I'm just looking for fucked up shit that my personality is gonna think's funny and go with that.
Also funny too.
Yeah, I like a good fart joke here and there. But so yeah, I went with Grown Ups. Next one on the list, We're the Millers.
Oh,
I was thinking about that.
That one really jumped out at me. I went and watched it in theaters. I was thinking, okay, Jason Sudeikis is like my boy. I grew up with him on SNL. And so I'm thinking, okay, our movie, comedy, Jason Sudeikis cannot be bad. And it was great. I mean, I thought it was funny. And Jennifer Aniston, oh my God. The older she gets, the hotter she gets. It's weird.
If you listen to our podcast, follow Jumbo Teddy.
Exactly. All of them follow Jumbo Teddy. If you want to see JT without his shirt taking a shit, then you know where to find him on Snapchat. Jumbo Teddy.
Let me get at you, girl.
Yeah, she might be looking for the leprechaun. Hint back to her first movie. But yeah, so I went with We're the Millers. That movie, I mean, the part where the guy gets his balls bit by a tarantula. First of all, I hate spiders.
Yeah.
And to see him get his nuts bit and you see it all infected and everything like that, it made me like, oh,
he's going to have to, suck that dude's dick, but it's like in pesos instead of...
Yeah, see, I mean, there's just a lot of parts that, again, my humor makes it seem super funny to me. It was a funny movie. I really liked it. Next one, sticking to the Disney roots, Heavyweights, where they go to fat camp with Ben Stiller, and that movie still has a great piece of a lot of childhood memories with that movie. One of my favorite songs, "Love Machine," is on there where they're at the dance and they're just getting their groove on, and the guy, the best part. The guy gets on there and he's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, dude, if I start dancing, everyone's going to start dancing, so let's just look at this. And he starts busting out these crazy dance moves. Everybody's just staring at him. It's like a typical junior high dance. Girls on one side, boys on the other, nothing happening in the middle. Until he jumps on the floor and everybody's starting to have a good time, and then they pull the lights and like, fuck. But, great movie. I mean, Ben Stiller... He was White Goodman before he was White Goodman. I mean, I think White Goodman was based a lot on that character in Dodgeball. So it was foreshadowing, I guess. But it was a great movie, good Disney movie, one of the funny ones. Moving on, like JT said, Meatballs. Meatballs, great Bill Murray movie.
Hey, copycat.
Yeah, but it was a great movie. Bill Murray always steals the spotlight. I mean, just any movie he's in, it's Bill Murray. If Bill Murray's in it, even if he's a side character, you're waiting for Bill Murray. That's just how good he is.
Ghostbusters, the remake.
Ghostbusters, Caddyshack. I mean, all these big name movies he was in, he always stole the show. And he has so many quotes that people will just remember. So, Bill Murray, one of the greats. Next one, John Candy and Summer Rental.
Oh, shit.
Going old school again. And it was a funny movie. One that's really, it's one of a rare movie that you see on TV. They only play it maybe 2 or 3 times during the summer, and that's about it. But he did a really good job in that movie. A lot of funny parts. And then it's that typical John Candy. John Candy's in a lot of summer movies. And he's one of those guys that really just, again, he's like Bill Murray. When he's in a scene, he just takes over. It doesn't matter if he's the main star or the side star or anything. When he's on camera, he's gold every time. So I went with Summer Rental. It was a funny movie. I mean, again, I like the summer comedies. I like something that's going to make me laugh. I don't want to be dragged and watch a movie for 2 hours unless it's a good story that just makes me sit there and be like, what the fuck am I doing? I could be watching Grown Ups over this, which it can be sad in some moments. But yeah, so that was my honorable mentions. I went with Summer Rental, Meatballs, Heavyweights, We're the Millers, and Grown Ups. We're getting into our top 5 as we move on. And since JC, you started us off, we'll start you off with round 2 with your top 5 summer vacation movies.
All right. So my number 5 is kind of one of those that occurred in the summer and plays out over kind of a single day. My number 5 is Friday.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, right? Just just one of those. You could see everything that goes on in that movie. Happen on just a typical Friday during the summer.
Maybe not typical in Eastern Oregon or Washington.
Sure, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's somewhat. I mean, but as in that kind of scenario of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a funny movie. There's a lot of stuff that came out of the movie that's super classic. Specifically the Bye Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
So I mean, it's it's one of those that it's a very iconic movie. But
it's a great movie.
And like I said, it doesn't really, go about summer vacations, but it's something that it's a summer era, summertime.
It's summertime, summertime sadness.
Exactly.
That song, but
summertime. DJ Jazzy Jeff and Will Smith, shout out to the Fresh Prince. Summertime, classic song. I used to do that on SingStar like all the time.
So
love the awkward silence. Something weird that he did again.
You know what? All I have to say to that, JT, is fuck it.
Fuck it. Yeah, fuck it.
So, all right. My number 4 choice is Stand By Me.
Okay. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Definitely, the epitome of, 4 friends going through just, a summer, quick little summer kind of weekend thing, just trying to find a dead body.
I mean, there's nothing more natural than trying to find a dead body in the summer.
JC, exactly. I think I know what your number 1 is.
You think so?
I think so.
I don't know.
Is this your new? Okay.
No, it
ends with a G.
No, it doesn't actually.
Wait. JT, is your new goal trying to guess everybody's number 1 before? Is that your new thing?
Yeah.
So how about we do that? So
I'm a guesser.
Starting next week, we'll do that. We'll have you guess. We can do just the number 1, or we can do how many.
Anything on the list.
How about this? We'll have you guess our top 5, and then we'll see. I'm gonna have them written down. I usually do. We'll have you guess the top 5, and then we'll reveal them at the end, and we'll see how many you got right. I guess when we go through the things, you'll know how many you got right. But make sure you write your guesses down, because we want to see what your predictions are and if it's true.
Oh, that sounds good.
All right.
So I mean, JT may be on the right track because my number 3 does start with the G.
Oh shit! What up?
It's Goosebumps.
I don't know if it's the same G movie that he's thinking of, but my number 3 is Goonies.
Yep, fucking knew it.
It's not like we've been friends for like 14 years or anything, So
shit, longer than that.
Longer than that, I don't know. It's been too long.
He's watching it right now. He's on his computer. He's watching it while he's on his Google Drive in his computer, and he's still in the bathroom.
No, I'm on Tinder. What are you talking about?
Are you on Tinder or Grindr?
Oh, yeah, I called that one earlier.
Yeah, she has a pretty face. It's not gay, right?
Yeah, I mean, you live close enough to Portland, so you never know.
Yeah,
just a quick drive.
One at some point, right?
Just a quick drive.
Yeah,
just a quick little 15-minute drive to Portlandville. But
they only meet up at 1 a.m. That's about the earliest I meet them up at.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, 80 seconds, a wonderful street.
Get anything you want and more.
Exactly. All right, so getting back to the list. My number 3 is Goonies. It's it happened during the summer. It's iconic truffle shuffle coming out of that movie.
It was almost by Portland as well.
That is true. It was in Astoria, and it's one of those summer movies that they go on a trip and they're trying to discover not dead bodies this time but treasure, and they come across dead skeletons and stuff, trying to find a huge ship. But overall it's a funny movie, good movie.
Movie that I may watch after this.
It is. And it's one of those movies you want to watch like in the summer. You know, like you want to watch it in the summer.
My favorite part by far. It used to be, and I think it still is on TBS a lot. And they would always do like those dinner and a movie every week, and they would always have the Goonies on. But by far, my favorite part is Sloth. When he unbreaks the chains at the end. I used to wear a Superman shirt because I saw it on Goonies before I watched Superman. That was... I grew up with that movie, and I just go, Slime!
Yeah.
Hey, you guys!
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they, a lot of movies have, a lot of iconic, sayings or phrases that come out of them. That one's got, the sloth, with the hey you guys, or sloth love chunk, or
I mean, gee, how many times have Family Guy made fun of that?
Probably a lot.
Yeah.
Probably a lot.
There's a lot of times where other TV or TV shows or movies have made some type of reference or something to the movie. So and like I said, it's overall just a good summer movie. So moving on to my number 2. This is kind of be a copycat of Curran, with Heavyweights. For me, Heavyweights was definitely one of those summer movies. It's about a summer camp, and overall very funny movie with Ben Stiller. And overall, it's one of those summer camps that you think you're gonna go have a fun time, and then it all goes to shit.
Mm-hmm.
And it's totally not what you want it to be, and it turns out to be a really shitty summer camp. But in the end, nothing like having a, overnight, I don't know, what would you say, the food coma after eating, crazy amounts of food.
Yeah, the sugar crash, candy coma.
Yeah, whatever. But I mean,
straight chipmunks. Straight chipmunks.
Yeah. And nothing like having someone tied up behind an electrocuted or electrified fence, and then going and just pouring,
Shades of Rambo. Shades of Rambo. I think it's Rambo 3 or can't remember if it's Rambo 3 or not, because it's not the one where he's in the desert. Oh, I don't know. It's one of the. It might be Rambo 3. It's one of those.
Yeah, no, I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, overall, and another one of those that has a lot of good taglines of, if I screamed out "buddy" at someone, just as long as I heard, "buddy" yelled in return, just like when they're in the in the water and stuff, and but it's just overall,
buddy, buddy.
Yeah, watching a bunch of guys just scream "buddy" back and forth at each other.
A great movie. You have to have a foreign person as your main sidekick. That's just the over macho, kind of complete d-bag like Lars.
Named Lars. Yeah. And especially when they ask him, where are you from, and he replies with "far, far away." And it's just, it's definitely got some fucking hilarious parts to it. Especially like when he's weighing the kids in, and he tells them get on the scale, and he gets on, and he's gained weight, and he's like, get off the scale. It's super funny and somewhat relatable, especially for bigger guys like myself. It's just it's super funny.
Early 90s, Disney movies were money back then. There were so many classics. They're not so much today, but when we had those Disney movies early in the early 90s, you had the Mighty Ducks, you had Heavyweights. I mean, you had some real good classic movies that we grew up with that were just like, fuck, that's funny as hell. And still, when we look back at it, and as we, I wouldn't say mature, kind of, and probably not.
Mature?
We're probably worse. Probably worse. I think we probably act more like a kid than we did when we were kids. But those movies, you grew up, and they're a part of you. So it doesn't matter when you watch them. You flip them on, and you see it on TV or something like that. You're gonna watch it. And it doesn't fucking matter. It's gonna watch it. And now Netflix is bringing those back. Oh man, jackpot.
Yeah, I definitely think Netflix is making a lot of money off of bringing back old movies that most people wouldn't necessarily remember off the top of their head, but once they bring them back and they go
Heavyweights.
Oh, shit,
once it came on, I watched that literally the day of that. They put that on Netflix. I was just like, yes.
Yeah.
Don't even care.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely me too. Because it was one of those. I remember going over to my grandmother's and watching it on VHS. It's old school. Watching it, and then all of a sudden seeing it pop back up. Just like that, and I'm going, oh shit, I gotta watch this. And then remembering, how fucking funny it was, and so it's overall good mood, good movie.
Yeah, it's a great one.
So, all right, my numero uno, number one, is going to be Sandlot.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
shit.
Okay.
Now, this is the one that I felt that there's going to be a lot of overlap copying between all three of us, because I definitely think
Yeah.
It should be in my top 5, but I did not.
Wow.
As much as a sports fan, and I wasn't clear. I was thinking about it, but then I felt like, this one is going to be touched on, and it would be. But I'm looking at my list, and I really like my list right now.
Yeah, and I'm super proud for this to be number uno, because it definitely it's the epitome of a summer movie.
It really is, yeah.
It's one of those where you go through the summer, go and hang out with your friends, play some baseball, get into some shit,
Get some cha.
Or two.
Get some cha.
Yeah, right. yeah. Go on a fucking ride and throw it all up.
Classic.
Oh, what's her? Is it? Oh,
You play ball like a girl.
Yeah.
You just assume my gender?
Is it Mandy Pepperidge, or I can't remember her first name.
I can't remember.
I know Pepperidge is the last name, or is it Peppercorn?
Peppercorn, yeah, peppercorn.
Yeah, something Peppercorn. I mean, oh my God, did I have the biggest boner for her? I mean, I'm not gonna lie, just like her in that lifeguard outfit sitting there, and they did all those close-ups of her moving her tongue and everything. It's like, how the fuck do you not?
Honestly.
I mean,
Yeah.
literally. I mean, if I was that kid, when I first saw that, I don't know how old I was, probably not that old, and I just saw it. I'm like, oh, Lucky? I mean, fuck.
Wonder how many times he messed that scene up. To
Yeah, right. Gotta do it again.
I wonder.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, usually he had to pause during that scene, but
Yeah, I mean,
it's classic.
Good for the kid, though. Good for the kid.
Oh, I mean, that was one of those scenes. I mean, other than that scene stood out. You had the whole ending chase. I used to always that last chase. When I got my shoes, I would always get every basketball year or something like that. I would, or whenever I really got a new pair of shoes, that scene always popped in my head. And even if they had the little push button or something on the shoes, I always pump it like that. And I would see myself in that situation. I would throw on the music, Tequila, and then Hawaii 5-0, and then just that scene just always backfires into my head. It'll never run out. Every time I get a new pair of shoes, I feel the same way. I put them on, and I'm gonna go fucking jump over a wall or some shit. I mean, every time.
Yeah, and also for me with Sandlot, any movie that's gonna have James Earl Jones, and some type of him and his voice, even if it's just a voiceover, with a voice like that, man, you know it's gonna be a great fucking movie.
Oh yeah. Easily.
Yeah, and and then having a big old fucking dog like that in your background, and
you big old weenie.
But and like I said, it's one of those movies that kid moves into the neighborhood, starts the summer, gets some friends, and it's just it has every making for a good summer movie.
Still my favorite thing, the Great Bambino. You mean
Yeah.
Bambi? No, not that wimpy deer.
Yeah, when the salt and the slot, when they just go through all the fucking names, and
Or when you have I'm forgetting the catcher's name, but when he was walking by the pool and he's all strutting and everything, and he's just like, sexy.
yeah, Ham. That's it.
Ham, that's right, Ham.
Porter.
Yes, and he's just that whole scene where that slow walk in front of all the girls, and he's just like striding, and he's like, "Cannonball!" and just gets them all wet. You're just like, yes. I mean, this kid this kid was my idol back then. he was so great. Such a great movie. That's a good number one. I'll give you that.
Definitely number one.
All right, JT. Since we had about 10 minutes to speak about the Sandlot, let's deliver your top 5.
My top 5, starting in at number 5, The Secondhand Lions.
Ooh, that's a good movie.
Okay.
Really good movie. I
love it. Grew up on that.
Still one of my favorites. I mean, just the chemistry between all 3 actors was just phenomenal.
Because, I mean, he just goes there during the summer, and then you used to get all that background.
Mm-hmm.
Love it. Love it.
Haley Joel Osment, the star kid that was a star when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Except he is on Silicon Valley. I'll give him that. He's on Silicon Valley.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's on season 3. Yeah.
Okay.
They include. He's really gotten really chubby. Like he gained a lot of weight.
Nothing wrong with that. Up next.
Nothing wrong at all.
Jaws.
Oh yes, there we go.
One, not the sequels. Prequels.
Not Jaws 4. Not the one with Dennis
Jaws
Quaid.
7, no, yeah, just the original. Because that is a pinnacle summer movie. You got the beach,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got water, and then you got sharks. Because summertime's coming up. Fuck, you got Shark Week coming up here.
Oh yeah. Shark
August,
Week. Well,
that they have.
Well, when Shark Week goes, we'll go for our top 5 shark movies.
Well, you know what's going to be my number 1?
Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Sharknado.
Sharknado 1 through 4, baby. I already got 4 down.
Yeah,
I still need to. I have not seen the 4th one. That's when I think it's actually no. My brother bought it for me on Blu-ray, and I still haven't watched it. I might have to pull that one out.
Probably for the best.
That might be a cabin movie.
Oh goodness. No.
That's a great cabin movie. I don't know what you're talking about.
And as you guys were talking, I thought of something else to add to my honorable mention.
Cabin in the Woods.
No, Recess, the movie.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I had to mention that. I fucking love Recess.
That was I love the show. I watched parts of the movie. I think it's still on Netflix. I was watching like half of it, but I grew up with that show. I mean, those cartoons every week. Doesn't matter what time. I'm gonna watch them. I'm gonna fucking sit down and watch them. They're great.
Yeah, they're the best. Number 3 on my list, The Great Outdoors.
Oh, that's a great movie. Great movie.
I mean, it's a great movie. See, it's great in the movie. Great movie.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, that was definitely going to be one of my honorable mentions for sure, just because of John Candy.
I've seen that movie
you got
so
Dan Aykroyd
many
in there
times.
too, yeah.
Actually, I'm probably gonna watch this after we get out tonight. I mean, that movie.
Fuck it, let's have a movie viewing party.
Movie viewing. We'll put it on. Find it on Google. Everybody watch.
Yeah, we'll get that shit like they do on Facebook.
No, it'd be really fun to get like a campfire and then get a projector and a screen and just do a campfire and then watch the movie out in the woods. Oh, that sounds like fucking. I think that's like the appropriate environment for that movie.
Not out in the woods though, because you can't do it out in the woods.
Yeah, you can.
You know where to put the. Where are you gonna put the projector on?
Put it on a fucking log stump.
On a log? No. What you need is a barn, right? And you go out in a field.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Or you just bring a portable projector screen like most normal people.
Yeah.
Well, fuck.
You can make those out of like a carton.
Yeah. Minor details. Who uses the head here? Come on. Okay, my number 2 is Sandlot. My number 2 is Sandlot. I mean, it's such a great movie. If any reasonable human being would have this on their list. If they don't, there's something wrong with
Well, fuck you too, JT.
They are communist.
When I made my list, it did not cross my mind at the
You
time.
didn't put out an honorable mention.
Well, there, I put it on. It's on my honorable mentions. There you go.
That's too late now.
Yeah, it's nope. It's you guys. I don't even care. You guys can have that movie on your list. So far, mine have been untouched.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that
well, except one of them.
I mean, hey, okay. My number 1, I cheated on my number 1.
How the fuck did you cheat on your number 1?
Okay. Well, first off, it's two movies in one, because like it's two movies, but one is a spinoff of the other.
Oh.
Are we ready for my number one?
Yeah.
Are we ready?
Oh, you do have a bell, you son of a bitch.
My number ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Vacation
Plurals.
and National Lampoon Summer Vacation.
Yep.
It's because it's a spinoff. The Vacation is a spinoff of National Lampoon's Vacation, and they just work so well. They're such funny.
Are you
movies.
talking about the old one and the new one?
Yeah, the old one, the old one,
And the one of
new
Ed Helms.
Yeah, Ed Holmes and the original. The
Okay.
OG.
Okay.
Those are my number one, because essentially the same movie, just a continuation.
Yes. Yes.
So
And those definitely the first one. The new one, it had its moments.
it's really good. They buy that piece of shit van, and then
They had
Not as good as the OG though.
No, the OG. The
Well, I
OG.
mean, the OG is always going to have its moments, but then you have fucking Chris Hemsworth in there,
Yeah, and for 10 minutes, if you're a girl, you're probably real happy because you saw this dick like for 10 minutes straight.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I mean,
And
what? And then you have Charlie
Friday.
Day. I love Charlie Day. You have Norman Reedus.
Charlie
You have
Day is
everybody.
great. Yeah, I love Charlie Day is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Don't get me started about Norman Reedus.
Yeah, fanboy over here with.
Do you have his
that-
poster up on your wall?
No,
Well, he's
no, no,
really
no.
excited about the new shit that's coming out with the Boondock Saints.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That I have a poster on my wall of.
Yeah. He's gonna get the tattoo.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it right on his forehead, so everybody can see
Yeah,
it.
right?
And that is my number one.
That is your number one list. All right.
Number one.
I was keeping track, and then I forgot. I got too carried away in talking about these movies to list them out. But okay, so I'm gonna start with my number 5 here. Top 5. As of right now, there's probably only 2 that have been mentioned. Number 5, Captain Ron with Kurt Russell. You guys never saw that movie of Captain Ron. Oh my God. Had Martin Short, and then Kurt Russell was the Captain Ron. He was like he had an eye patch that he used for the ladies, but he was like a kind of like a bum captain of his own ship. And Martin Short takes his family out to sea. They're going to get his uncle's ship that he inherited to sell it. And so they had to go get it, and then the only way they bring it back is they had to sail it back. So they hired Captain Wrong, who's kind of like a sleazy.
Okay, yeah.
You know that? Yeah, he's.
Yeah.
And
I
then
remember my mom watching that. Came in. Yeah, I remember that
it's
now.
super funny movie, and
Comes
it's.
and he doesn't his eye patch move?
Yes, he moves it from side to side. He has no bad eye. He just uses it for effect. And it's just a super funny movie that really captures kind of that family summer, where things, it's like that suburban family goes out and actually do something.
Yeah,
and then
the
shit
mom
goes.
and then the dad gets cuckolded. Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
And then there's pirates in there, and I mean, this is a whole thing they throw into it, but it's just so funny. And again, Kurt Russell's performance as Captain Ron is just great. It's just that typical like early 90s, late 80s movie of Kurt Russell when he was in that comedy phase. That was just, just super good. So that was my number 5, Captain Ron. Number 4, as JT mentioned, Great Outdoors. I don't know if we haven't explained that anymore. One of my favorites, grew up with the movie, still one of my favorite scenes. One that really stood out to me was when they shot the bear in the ass, and he had a bare ass.
Yeah.
Pun intended. Great movie. The twins, God, they scared the shit out of me still. The Ginger twins.
You just gotta love John Candy.
Yeah, John Candy, Dan Aykroyd. Can't get better than those two combos. Just a lot of funny scenes. Just really good movie. One of my favorites as a child, and all the way still watch it all today. Number 3, Wet Hot American Summer.
Yep.
Great movie. Just, thinking about, if you look at that cast that they had,
Stacked.
it was so stacked. I mean, they had Bradley Cooper before everybody knew who the fuck Bradley Cooper was. He was great in that movie. You had Amy Poehler,
Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd. You had
the voice.
you had H. John Benjamin in there as the Cans. You had Christopher Maloney from Law and Order, who was in there as the cook.
Yeah.
You had a lot of comedians. You had like Joe Truglio, or I can't remember his name, the guy from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah,
He was in
yeah.
there. He was kind of like the nerdy, like do-right camp counselor. Michael Ian Black was in there. I have troubles with the main guy they followed because his name it doesn't reminisce too much. He was a writer of it. I mean, this had so many. They also had a guy from Role Models, Ken Marino. He was the guy who wore all like the tight shirts. He was trying to act all muscular because he's like one girl's like the whole movie. He's just like, dude, you see that girl over there with bubblegum? She wants to fuck me like so hard, and I'm just gonna pound her like crazy, like the whole movie. And then it's just a great movie because he goes out and he's like, you just see a scene where he's running like 20 miles just so he can try to bang this girl, and then she goes and makes out with like a 10-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not in a perverse sense, but in like a comedy way.
Yeah,
it.
not in like a way that my roommate is. Yeah, totally, yeah.
So, I mean, it was a great movie, a lot of funny characters, a lot of big, I mean, again, the cast is phenomenal, and one that they actually revived, like a year ago with their series on Netflix, and now they're doing another one like 10 years later when they're kind of grown up a little bit more. So I'm excited for that series, but again, that movie was just so good. It's so good, so underrated. Number 2, I had to go with the OG on this one. I went with National Lampoon's Vacation.
Yeah.
I mean, typical.
You have to.
I mean,
You have to.
I mean, you had Chevy Chase in his prime. You had why am I forgetting the name of Rusty? Or not Rusty. Rusty's the girl. Or no, Rusty's the boy. Rusty's the boy in that one, right?
Who the fuck names a girl Rusty?
There's a lot of girls named Rusty.
Fucking where?
I
Name five.
don't know.
Rusty.
Rusty.
No, show me.
There could be. Well, I'll find that one out. I'll find that one out. But I'm trying to think. Anthony Michael Hall or
Anthony Michael Hall.
Is it Anthony Michael Hall?
Rusty,
Yeah. So he plays Rusty in that. I mean, the movie was just great, and
then
that was one of the movies.
Again.
That was one of the series that the sequel wasn't bad either. European Vacation was pretty funny.
Well, shit, Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation. Oh my god. If we did Christmas movies,
Vacation
that's like my
is
number one. I have the sweatshirt of and of course you have Randy Quaid, cousin Eddie.
Cousin Eddie. Yeah.
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
I still have that sweatshirt. It says "Merry Christmas, Shitters Full," and it's got a picture of his RV. It's my favorite. I saw that. I was looking for ugly sweatshirts, and that popped up, and I was like, "That's not ugly. That's a masterpiece." So I had to get it. But I mean, yeah, that movie just stood out so great. I mean, just so good, and it had to be a great movie to top that as my number one. And I think my number one did it. When people think about this movie, they didn't realize this is a summer movie. And it is technically vacation because a lot of people are on vacation to do this movie. My number one movie, Caddyshack.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's... it's definitely not something you would think as being like a summer vacation movie, but I can understand how it could be summer.
Summer... Well, the thing about it in this way. Rodney Dangerfield is on a business trip in summer, so he's traveling. Technically, he's on vacation because he's trying to own the club. And then you have Chevy Chase, who is a golfer, kind of a laid-back, rich golfer. He doesn't really do anything, so he's always on vacation. And then you have the slutty, the niece of the owner or one of the head people or whatever on there. And she's on vacation for the summer. So I thought, okay, that's enough for me to consider it a summer vacation movie. And then once that was said, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. You had Bill Murray in it. I mean, so many. The cast alone. And then you have the great writer in it as, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank on this guy's name. He was in Harold Ramis. Harold Ramis wrote this. Harold Ramis is one of the best directors and writers in movies, as long as being also a great actor. But, I mean, you just had all that. When you put, in general, if you put Bill Murray and Harold Ramis in a movie, like Stripes, John Candy's in that too, I mean, just magic happens. And Caddyshack brought that out. I mean, still, who doesn't remember the gopher dancing? That's a character that was just a side character. They just kind of threw in, just be funny. And he became the star. I mean, the battle between him and Bill Murray alone makes it 20 minutes of that movie fucking awesome. Just to see those battles. Like, hey, Mr. Gopher, you've got your little buddies here, and he's making those clay little C4 bombs for him. I mean, it's just batshit crazy. But Bill Murray delivers on it so well. And then he's, again, any scene he's in, he just takes over. When he's over he's gardening. He's like, oh, there you are, Mrs. whatever her name is. Oh, you're gonna, bend over. And these are like 40-year-old, 50-year-old women. And he's just like kind of just straight up masturbating right there in the middle. But Bill Murray does it in a way that it doesn't seem creepy. It's just fucking funny. He's just, I mean, then you had the whole Cinderella story. I mean, there's just so many parts in that movie that stand out. And you put them all together, you get one amazing movie. It just, again, one of my favorites. All time.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice. Definitely.
It's an interesting choice.
I told you, my list was going to be a little unconventional.
Yeah, I'm not too sure it's a whatchamacallit.
Summer vacation.
Oh, you're going to be technical here. I think it is. I'm pretty sure. Well, okay, think about it this way. Think about it this way. It is a summer vacation movie because nobody in there is going to school because the kids are all working at the golf resort as caddies. So it's in the middle of summer.
I have a feeling you're not going to be winning JT over with this argument.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't need to win JT. This is my goddamn.
It's America.
I don't. You know what? Fuck it.
Yeah.
So that is my list. Again, number 1, Caddyshack. 2, Vacation, not the new one, the old one, the original National Lampoon's Way Hot American Summer at 3, Great Outdoors at 4, and Captain Ron at 5. I really advise you all to watch all these movies that we named out. These are great movies. You might have your feelings towards Grown Ups or Adam Sandler, but really Grown Ups 1 was a pretty funny movie. And if not alone, there's some really hot chicks in that movie too, so if you're going for that angle as well. Maybe not so much for Rob Schneider's third daughter in that movie, but the first two pass. The third one, meh. It's the sound in the movie. So that was it. That was my top 5. And now we are moving on to my current events. Current events, it's time for those current events. It's time for the current events. It's time for current events. Whoa.
Yay.
Perfect, we got the pause in there. That was what I was looking for. So I know where to put my new effect that I made on the finished product. It was a little fun. I just got in here and I started doing stuff for work, and then I was like, oh my goodness, I should do something, let's get some music and let's do something here for the show. And once that starts clicking, then you get me in here, and I didn't realize I was in here for an hour just messing around doing stuff, audio clips for the show. So when we finish the finished product, you'll get to see it. If you followed actually JC in the Morning on Instagram or Snapchat, I did show that clip and what it was. So if you did not get to see it, then that means you need to go you need to go follow us on Instagram so you can see some of the behind the scenes, because we do have a lot of things planned this summer.
do?
JT and I were conversing here, and JC as well, as it sounds like you're going to be a original here on the show, or a continuation. And so we have a lot of picture ideas. So that will be sometime this summer when we are able to get that taken care of. But we do have a lot of things we were thinking about, some poses here, and we'll use those for the show on YouTube, and we'll probably just get in that mode of where we'll just probably do a lot, and then whatever we don't use, we'll just throw on Facebook because it amuses us. That's all that matters.
And it's good to have behind the scenes stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's gonna be hilarious. You'll probably have videos of us just fucking around, and not literally, but
I mean,
you never know. We'll put it on the table.
You never know where it might lead. You know, one thing leads to another.
Well, we start shooting our own videos now. But yeah, I mean, no, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff we want to do, and you guys are the ones gonna benefit from it. So look forward to that. But tonight, for my current events, as you all know, we had the big NBA draft that I believe is still going on here. I think they're in the second round. They were just in the second round.
37th pick, I believe.
Yes,
Boston.
we were at 37th pick of Boston. But the big thing here was for Portland, for all your local Portland Trailblazer fans. They had a big trade. I believe it's done. Yes, I'm about 90% sure that it's completely done now. Zach Collins, Gonzaga Bulldog, at the 10 pick, will be going to the Trailblazers, which I think is a great pick for Portland because you can run him either at center or powered forward. But they also picked up Caleb Swanigan from Purdue, which, if you don't know Caleb Swanigan, he was kind of an unsung hero in the NCAA tournament this year for Purdue, as he was the big power forward that just kind of went crazy on the glass, taking over down low, real physical player, which Portland's missing. And I think getting him, that is a great addition to the team. Now, they did trade their other two picks, they did trade pick 15 and 20 to get Collins at 10, which I think was a great deal because you give Justin Jackson and Harry Giles to Sacramento in the trade, which I think is great because Harry Giles could be a great player in the next couple of years, but he's got knee injuries, and Portland has that. They have that curse that kind of goes on there.
Bad juju.
The bad juju with bad knees and big guys. So that was a good way. I think Zach Collins, he could be a monster in the NBA. I mean, he is just phenomenal. And the crazy thing is he was a 10 pick, and he was a backup for Gonzaga in his freshman year. So he was a backup, and he was still putting up big numbers, or good numbers, for the Bulldogs, who, again, they only made it to the national championship game. So I think that's a great pickup for Portland, and I pray in the next a month or two that we get rid of Allen Crabbe and Myers Leonard.
Yeah, fuck Myers Leonard, honestly. We need to get rid of him.
Well, the big thing with them is we paid them big bucks and alone, and now that the salary or the budget for roster payroll dropped $3 million, it means our luxury tab, we have to pay more. Since we're almost at $140 million, we're way over, and that was due to these big contracts that we signed last year to these guys that were bench players, not even starters, role players that are inconsistent. They have their moments. Allen Crabbe has his moments. But is it worth $17 million? Fuck no. I thought if Brooklyn offered him $15 million for 4 years, bye, Felicia. Let him walk. Let him go there. We don't need that. He wasn't that consistent to be worth that much money. And so I thought it was a bad signing. And I think Myers Leonard, at the time, it could have been something, but he's proven that he's just he just has injury issues, and all he can do is shoot threes. But when you're hurt, you can't really shoot threes. So then, what does that do to us? But bend us over and fist us. So that was we need to get rid of him. We need to get rid of Cap. That's the big thing for us because we're pretty much fucked in the next 2 years. We're not going to get a big free agent unless we trade a ton to get one person, which there aren't really anything to go after right now. Even LaMarcus Aldridge, I wouldn't take him. We don't have the money, and that means we would have to give up Zach Collins and something else for him, which I'd rather take Zach Collins than LaMarcus Aldridge at this point. I think Collins has a good future. So, yeah, that's right now big thing in the draft going on right now. Portland, just good draft, I think, for them. They needed to improve on the post. That was the big thing. They didn't need guards. They didn't need to get into this point guard habit.
We don't need guards. We have.
We got McCollum. We've got Lillard. We got Nurkic when he's healthy. We'll have Nurkic healthy when he's back.
He's healthy.
And you run Nurkic and Collins, or probably, you still have Noah Vonleh. I think Noah Vonleh is getting better by the game. So I think he could be he's not going to be a star, but I think he can be a really good power forward. And if you split, let's say we run Collins as a backup center than Nurkic, I trust that a hell of a lot more than Myers Leonard. Because I think Zach Collins is a physical specimen that can rebound offensively really well, and he can score down low, which is what we need. And he's got a good mid-range jumper, good at the line, just a great skill set. That, it's going to take time. He's only, 19, 20 years old? So
19, yeah.
It's going to take time for him to polish that up. But after that, he could be a big steal in the draft for Portland.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think of that Bell feller?
Jordan Bell, I think I don't know. I don't think Portland has any more picks in the second round. I will double check. But I think that would have been a guy that, I like the Caleb Swanigan pick at 26. I think that was a good one. Jordan Bell, I really do like him. I think, even though I'm a Beavers fan, I think he got picked up by Chicago, which
Chicago needs because they got rid of Jimmy Butler.
Yes. And so I think that's a good pick for him. I really did. I really think Jordan Bell, he kind of reminds me of Draymond Green in a way.
Is he kicking people in the balls?
Well, no. Well, I don't know. There's plenty of time before that happens.
We'll see.
But just to kind of style play. He's kind of that undersized power forward. He's like 6'8", 6'9", but freak athletically. Can jump really high, get on the glass, play really good defense, down low post defense. Now it might be a little bit different now that he's in the pro and he'll be going against better athletes than he did in college. Because in the playoff in the NCAA tournament for college, he was just all over the place, swatting person left and right. Running across court, 9 shots, getting big dunks. He was just running everywhere. It might be a little bit different in NBA, but I think he could be that spark plug that a team like Chicago needs because, again, they're essentially restarting from scratch. They're probably going to get rid of Dwayne Wade now and probably going to get rid of Rondo since they got over. No, are you getting a call?
Who's getting a call?
Not me.
That wasn't me. I got nothing hooked up over on that end.
Not me.
Maybe it was me. I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I didn't accept it. But anyways, so I think that's a good pickup for the Bulls. They're restarting from scratch. That's why they made the trade to get rid of Jimmy Butler. They're probably in a build for the next couple of years, and so but I think that's a good pick for Jordan Bell. I thought he was going to go a little earlier.
Who is calling you again?
I have no clue.
And pick up.
It's not on my phone.
Who is it then?
I don't know. It's driving me crazy.
Let's add him to the call.
It's in a whole different room.
That's why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a good pickup. There's still Dylan Brooks that hasn't been picked up here, as they're at the 39 pick, and there's also Nigel Williams-Goss from Gonzaga that hasn't been chosen, and if he does, he'd be at the very end, I believe, like pick 60 or something like that. Which with him, he's a good defender. Athletically, he's decent. He could be better for the NBA. I think time will tell. I think if he does get picked up by a team, he'll be sent to a developmental league. I just think there's a lot of stuff he can work on, but he could be a nice player. Same thing with Dylan Brooks. I think he's really good offensively, but there's a lot of defensive issues that I think he needs to work on to become a potential starter in the NBA. But, a lot of Pac-12 guys made it in the NBA draft this year. Of course, headlined by Lonzo Ball and the Lakers. But I just think there's a lot of stuff that could be going on for these guys. And so far, the draft is about what I expected. I knew Portland wanted to get Collins. I didn't know they were going to trade up, but that was good. I thought they were going to trade and try to... some reports I heard they were trying to go to like 7, but they were going to take Collins too, but they were going to try to get rid of Crabbe, which I would have been awesome with. I think that would have been a deal of the night. Because, again, you can hear my likeness of Crabbe. I just don't think he's worth the money.
So saying you don't like crabs?
I don't like crabs.
You gotta get special shampoo and tiny combs.
Yeah. It's a lot of extra work for that.
You should be expert on that, right?
I keep it shaved.
Okay. Good to know.
There you go. Woohoo! JT's thought of the night.
But I have to say, LeVar Ball definitely was making some pretty strong statements about his son.
Did you? Yes, and I think that's going to kind of backfire.
It definitely has been kind of his MO throughout his whole son's career. But
no, don't get me wrong. I think Lonzo's a nice player, and I think he's going to fit well with LA, and I wish him the best of luck. But I can't stand the fuck out of LeVar Ball. I just can't. It just annoys me. I do my best to, not pay attention to what he says because I know it's a bunch of bullshit. But it gets annoying to the point. And I think now that he's got Lonzo on the Lakers, I don't think the Lakers are going to let him do that. I don't think, because that's the one thing they don't need is to have that image in him kind of going out and creating that self-awareness to him while his son is on the Lakers, because what that's going to do is cause a bad look on the Lakers.
Yeah.
And I think...
because I definitely think, making all these statements, and if they do happen to have a bad year and don't make it to, the playoffs, that's just going to, make everyone look stupid.
Yeah, and there's also the fact, what if his kid can't handle it? What if his kid tanks in the NBA? Then what does that do? I mean, there's a lot riding on Lonzo, and he definitely doesn't need his dad. Now I'm all for him, supporting him, going to his games and all that, but there's no need to have the cameras in his face, especially now that his son plays in the NBA. There's no need. Even though media love him, media is probably now half and half on him, and there's half that love him, half that hate him, get him out of there, and I don't think his other brothers are probably going to make it to the NBA. LiAngelo, probably not. LaMelo, I'm not really impressed with LaMelo. Even, it's kind of funny, I was reading a story that LeVar even told his son, LiAngelo, when he goes to UCLA, you know what? You're probably not going to go to the NBA. So I thought that was kind of funny. But
which is pretty messed up to be telling, your one kid when the other kid's getting into the NBA.
See, there's probably what's going to happen is they're just going to have him trying to endorse the brand. You know what? What's going to happen in about a year or two? There's going to be a new show, and it's going to be like All About the
Fucking
Ball
A.
or
Oh.
something like that. It's gonna be on like ETV or some shit, or maybe MTV. I don't know. But whoever, or you know what? They'll probably never mind. No, they aren't gonna go on a network. They're gonna create their own network. It's gonna be called the Big Baller Network. We'll have their TV show where they're gonna follow around LeVar and his family, and it's gonna be called Balls Knows Best or something like that. Or actually, that's a terrible name. It's really a bad name.
What's really stupid about it is the chance that it could actually happen.
Oh, I think it's about 95% gonna happen. I mean, I think they've already planted the seeds, and with all the new production, and I mean, there's a lot to follow because you have the new business, they have their own shoe line, and so there's some interest, I guess. There's some interest, but I mean, I just thought it was funny that you see all the other parents clapping back, as they say, clap back at LeVar Ball, like De'Aaron Fox's dad. I thought it was awesome. He was just like, yeah, you know those times my son played against your times? Was it 1, 2, 3, 4? Every time my son kicked the shit out of your son. All of them. So, yeah. I mean, I really think De'Aaron Fox is awesome. I really like that kid as a player. Great attitude. I do think he should gain some weight. I think he can put a little muscle on. I think he will in the NBA. But he reminds me a lot of John Wall. I think he could be that. I mean, super athletic, great finishing at the rim, can burn people. I think his shot can develop. There's good, a good form, good mechanics to his shot, and so he's definitely got that going with it. So I think that will develop at time. He's a good passer, plays really good defense. Again, just got to build up a little bit of physique on the body. But once he does that, he could be a real dangerous player. I'm not going to say, I mean, it's not going to bring the Kings up to a level of competing, or, I mean, maybe in the playoffs in like 5 years, depending on what they do of building their team. But they've got some pieces there. And, I mean, there's a lot of teams that do have pieces. I think Timberwolves, you're going to see as a playoff team next year. There's no way they shouldn't be a playoff team. When you got Karl Anthony Towns, Jimmy Butler now, Andrew Wiggins. They picked up the center, Justin Patton, who I think can develop into a nice player at center. And you still got Rubio at point guard. So you got a pass-first point guard. You got scorers in Wiggins, Cat, and Butler. So you got some real pieces there. I think Minnesota's going to jump up. They'll make the playoffs. Sixers, depending on how these draft picks and how Markelle Fultz does, Joel Embiid, if he can stay healthy, and same thing goes to Ben Simmons. If he can stay healthy, that's a good 3. And they've got some nice players too. I mean, they've got a nice young roster. They could sneak in there, and they play in the East, so that definitely benefits them. They could really jump up there and grab playoffs. I think they will. If they can stay healthy, they should. Portland should. If you get Nurkic, the way they were playing with Nurkic, man, that team was just on all levels. And you add Zach Collins, which I think still, I mean, he's kind of raw, so he's going to take some time, but he could develop really nicely and probably pretty quickly. So you got some good pieces there.
When you say Zach Collins, all I think is "In the Air in the Night" by Phil Collins.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? That could be his. I mean, he could play with that and make that his like intro song or some shit.
That's all I'm thinking of.
I can feel you coming in the air tonight. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Hey, who sings that?
Phil Collins.
Let's probably keep it that way.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
No, you.
Thanks. But yeah, so I mean, there's a lot of talent. Now, is there anybody on Golden State's level next year? No.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. I mean, the big thing, no. I really think the Cavs are about on their way out.
Spurs, bro.
It depends on what they do in this free agency. I mean,
it's Greg Papa. He's going to pick up some people.
Well, it depends on what they do, because the big thing they want to do is get rid of Aldridge to get a top 10 pick. So there's definitely the possibility that they might trade him.
They trade Aldridge back to Portland, and they get Phil Collins.
God, that's not going to happen
Watch.
because money. There's no way that's happening a straight
Watch
trade.
It's gonna happen.
If we were going to get Aldridge, which I don't think so because Portland really wants Collins, I think we would have to get rid of Crabbe. We would have to get rid of Myers Leonard and maybe Evan Turner. That would probably be the three people. But then again, do you want LaMarcus Aldridge back?
No,
That's the thing.
not really. Not really.
I mean, you got Collins. That's the guy you want to develop. And you got Noah Vonleh, who's only like 24 or 25. So you got a young guy, and he's really developed into a nice player for Portland over last year because he got time. And you don't want to ruin that again because Aldridge doesn't fit that offense anymore. That offense is completely different than when Aldridge was there because it's not run through Aldridge. It would be ran through Lillard and McCollum. And so Collins is a better fit. And what they need is defense down low. And you got Nurkic. Nurkic is the key for that whole team. I mean, he's so good. And so the big thing with him is you also don't want to bring Aldridge back because they got to make money. They got to make room because he's going to get a good contract. Nurkic is going to get a good contract for Portland. When his rookie contract is up and they need to re-sign, they're going to have to pay a lot of money to get Nurkic back. And I think Nurkic wants to be back. I mean, from what I've seen, Nurkic is already in the gym busting his ass off to get ready for the season, which is awesome. I mean, he's a player. I think he's an instant celebrity in Portland. And there's a big following.
Yeah. He already has all that shit going on.
Yeah, he's got such a good following. And he was a really good player for Denver, but, and then they got Nikola Jokic, who came out of fucking nowhere. And they just, that worked out perfectly for Portland. That trade for Nurkic, that was a beautiful trade. Now we just got to see. Is that your dinner bell? Is that your dinner bell?
The special announcement bell.
Oh, that's right. Special announcement. Okay. So that was at the NBA draft. But speaking about drafts, we do. JC in the morning, we are going to do a fantasy football draft coming up here as we get closer to NFL season, which is just under 2 months away. I think it's like 52 days or something like that. So a little bit of time, but we are going to start our NFL fantasy football draft. Now, we want you guys to be a part of it. I'm still deciding on if I want to go ESPN or NFL this year.
Yes, no, NFL.
NFL's been really good to me. And,
yeah, we're doing NFL.
And it's ESPN's...
I've made an executive decision.
Yeah, I think NFL's good. I think that's what we did last year. And I think it was good. So we'll do that. But again, we want you to join. We want to get a good league. We'll, depending on who we can get. I think my minimum that I want, or probably, let's say minimum would be 10. Maximum would be 14. Because, I do want to get these where, like, everybody matters kind of things with players. But we also want you to be committed to the fantasy football league, and we will JT and I and JC, we will be figuring out some ways to divvy up, and we'll have some prizes. We'll have to kind of decide on that, but we have a lot. It's going to be a lot of fun. We want to get people involved.
If
fantasy
it's a
football.
Female, the prize would be dating JP.
Now, is that a prize or?
I think it's a consolation prize.
That's the loser.
That's the loser's prize.
It's the booby prizes.
And you know what? Oh my God.
Just answer the goddamn phone.
It's in a whole different room. See, it already went off. I don't know what the hell the deal is, but so yeah. And even if it's a guy who loses, you can still take. You can take.
Take me out.
Take JT out.
Free food. I don't give a shit.
Dude, dinner and a movie. JT's not going to complain.
Yeah. Treat me right. Fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn the table for me.
Exactly. So
me.
You guys can have a bro night or something. A real fun time, but it's going to be fun. we're really excited about this big NFL season coming up, and we want to get you guys involved. We want to be, we want you guys to join in, but be committed. I don't want really any players that jump into the league, they do their draft or they auto draft, and then don't touch it for the whole season. It just really takes the integrity of the game out. So, it's just for the people that, oh God, people are they're gonna be like listening, like, what the hell is that? And it's driving people mad. It's driving me mad too.
Driving us mad too.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the big thing, fantasy football is going to be coming up here in a month or two. So go to the Facebook page, or you can actually direct message us if you're interested, and we will get your info. We will get those all divvied out when I create the league, and we will get that all taken care of. But again, we just want to get everybody involved here. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, we're looking for at least 10. That would be my minimum to do the league.
So like us plus 10 or
us plus, so total 10.
So
total 10 would be the minimum. Let's say maximum would be 14.
Maximum.
I don't want to go too high, because then people, when you start trying to plan drafts, then like getting everyone be able to do a draft, it makes it tough.
Yeah.
Let's actually say 12. Let's say 12 is the max. So in that 10-12 range is a good range. So then we can do six in each conference, and do it that way. But it should be a lot of fun. It's something we want to do, and thinking about the draft, we'll schedule it. It could be something where
a live draft.
A live draft. I mean, we tried that once, but we did that with baseball. It made it a little tough. Fantasy baseball, doing a live draft for that was pretty rough.
Well, fuck baseball.
But football, everybody get a couple people here in the studio, and then we can have some people join in on Google Hangouts, whoever joins in, and get them on the air, do a live draft. I think that would be a fun podcast, or even just for the hell of it, as like a bonus.
Yeah.
Do a live draft. It'd be a lot of fun. Even actually, that'd be a great idea, because even if it's just a couple of us, we can go over our picks. We can do kind of our scouting report, who we want, what teams. Talk. Oh, there's going to be a lot of shit talking. I mean, that's just a given. When it comes to football, you picked him, you dumbass, and stuff like that. I mean, it's just good, clean American football fun, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We want to get you guys involved. It's going to be a good time. That's our big announcement, other than the fact that we're starting to take off with this thing.
Yeah, we got 7 views. We're taking off.
We're taking off. We're starting out.
We're going places.
But you know what? The big thing though is, when we do this, I look at when we share our podcasts, most of our posts is about in that 15 to 40 range. When we do our podcast shares, that's almost triple digits there, like every time. So people are noticing, which is good.
We're on up.
We just need people watching.
Sad.
But you guys are doing great. We have a lot of fun doing this.
Please keep listening.
Please. Even if you don't
like and share and follow.
Like and share, follow us. You don't want to make JT cry. You already did. You don't want to make him cry.
Too late. Yeah, too late.
He's very emotionally distraught right now. You can hear his tears, and the only way to cheer him up is to share this Facebook.
For one like a day.
For one like a day. If you like our page 10 days in a row, or 10 posts, let's say you like a post 10 days in a row, you can get an opportunity to go out on a date with JT.
Yes.
Very simple cause. And he will pay for everything.
Yes, the person who likes it will pay for everything.
And you know what? And that happens, we'll videotape it too. So you could be on the Facebook page going on a date. I mean, it would be a fun time. Actually, that sounds, that'd be really fun.
Giveaway. We could do a drawing and they get to sign my belly.
There you go. Isn't that the ultimate reward? They get to sign your belly on air.
Yes, there we go.
There we go. We can start doing it like
too.
start doing like Mike and Mike and stuff, having like weird stuff happen while we're doing it, and you have to like play by play of it.
Well, yeah, they said I was weird, but I started recording and doing weird stuff, so it's fine. It's normal now. We're just recording.
Yeah, exactly.
If I did it without recording, then it's just fucking weirdo. But since I do it and record, it's totally normal.
Yep. I mean, that's what you got to do to be on this podcast. Is you just got to say fuck it and just go ahead and do it and have fun. We only live once, so why not live a little?
Unless you're, Buddhist, then you live multiple times.
Then you live multiple times, and you can rub many bellies.
Rub many bellies.
But you know what? I think that's going to do it for us tonight here. Again, we went over our top 5 summer vacation movies. We had a little recap of the NBA draft going on as it's still finishing up. Probably for the next half an hour, they'll be on there still. So when you guys hear this, the draft will definitely be over, and you'll know where to go, and all the trades will be settled, at least for now. For Curran, also, again, follow us on Facebook. Please,
Twitter,
we're on Facebook. Are we on Twitter yet?
Twitter?
Did you create a Twitter yet?
No.
Well, that'll be some.
Shit?
Well, it'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
It'd be nice.
At some point, you actually start doing something, but
yeah, we're on Facebook, JC in the Morning. We're also on. We are also on Snapchat. We are on Instagram. Again, Snapchat. Our name is JC in the Morning 1. And then on Instagram, it's just JC in the Morning. Go ahead, go follow us.
You're official when you have to have the word 1.
Well, that was the only way they would let me because somebody already took it.
Damn, copyright infringement.
Yeah, I know. Bastards.
Good thing we're J2C in the morning now.
Exactly. We'll make that change. And I think it'll be great for the show. But other than that, follow us. We got the NFL draft that's going to be coming on. Our fantasy football draft. We'll have that going on. So make sure to let us know on Facebook. You can message us there, and we will get you added to our list. Again, we want to build a list up to 12 people here so we can have fun. It's going to be a great NFL season. We're ready. And the countdown has already began. So we're still waiting for that. For Curran, yes. For Curran Holdman here, and JC and JT over in there, this has been JC in the Morning. Fuck it.